China is full of wonders. But what if I told you? Are there places in China that even the local people are unaware of? Hidden temples, underground cities, lost tombs, places that were built thousands of years ago and then forgotten. Some are inside deep mountains, others underwater, and some are hidden by forests. These are not tourist spots. These are the real secrets of China. In this video, I'll show you 25 of the most secret places in China. Every one of them is ancient. Every one of them has a story, and every one of them will surprise you. Watch till the end, because the last one will shock you the most. Longyu Caves, Zhejiang Province. Longyu Caves are one of the biggest mysteries in China. These caves are not natural, they were dug by hand. But here's the strange part. No one knows who built them, how they did it, or why they made them. The caves were discovered in 1992 by a local farmer. He was trying to dry up a small pond to make a fish pond. When the water was drained, he found a huge cave under the pond. It was so big that people could walk inside it. When other nearby ponds were drained, more caves appeared, 36 caves in total. Each cave is about 30 meters deep, with flat walls and ceilings. The inside looks like it was cut with big machines. But these caves were made more than 2,000 years ago, and machines like that didn't exist back then. There are stairs, stone bridges, and even columns inside some of the caves. Everything is perfectly shaped. That's what makes it so mysterious. There are no records in Chinese history books about who made the caves. No writings, no signs, nothing. Even the best scientists don't understand how people dug these caves by hand with such perfect lines. And how did they remove so much rock? Experts say more than 1 million cubic meters of stone was taken out. That's like 400 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Some people think the caves were used as hiding places. Others say they were part of a lost underground city. Some even believe aliens made them. But we don't know the truth, and that makes it one of the biggest secrets in China. The caves are open today for visitors, but still, many Chinese people have never heard of them. They are not near big cities or tourist spots. That's why they remain hidden from most travelers. If you visit Longyu, you'll see the strange marks on the walls. Perfect lines that look like a giant tool scrape the surface again and again. Some people think they were made to help with sound or energy. Some think they're just decoration, but no one knows for sure. Imagine walking inside a cave that was made thousands of years ago, and nobody alive today knows who made it. That's the feeling you get in Longyu. Guyaju Caves, Beijing. Just 90 kilometers from Beijing, hidden in the cliffs of a valley, are the mysterious Guyaju Caves. These are not normal caves made by nature. These are more than 100 rooms carved into a mountain, almost like a forgotten apartment building. But this stone city is at least 1,000 years old, and nobody knows who built it. When you walk into Guyaju, you feel like you've stepped into an ancient neighborhood made of rock. There are homes, windows, doors, staircases, even beds and storage shelves, all made from stone. Some caves are small for 1 or 2 people. Others are big, like halls, maybe for meetings or families. It looks like a whole community once lived here. But history has no clear answers. The caves are cut into a steep cliffside, which makes it even more impressive. People must have used ropes or ladders to get around. Why would anyone build like this? Some think the people were hiding from enemies. Others think it was a spiritual community, like monks or hermits. There is no writing, no carvings, no names. The people who made Guyaju left behind no record. That makes historians puzzled. They don't know the tribe or dynasty that made it. Some guess it was built during the Tang dynasty, others say the Liao dynasty, but there is no proof. The design is very smart. Rooms are connected, air can flow, and sunlight reaches many of the chambers. There are holes in the walls, possibly used to hang things or hold torches. It shows the builders were not just strong, they were smart. Today, very few tourists visit. Even people in Beijing often don't know about it. But Guyaju stands quietly, holding its secrets. It's a hidden city in the rock, frozen in time. And when you walk through its doors, you feel the silence of 1,000 years. Yongtai Turtle City, Chongqing. Deep in the hills of Chongqing, there's a strange walled town called Yongtai Turtle City. The name comes from the shape of the city. It looks like a turtle from above. But this place is not famous, and even many Chinese people have never heard of it. It was built over 600 years ago, during the Ming Dynasty, as a military fortress. Its job was to protect the border and keep the peace. The city is small but very strong. Thick stone walls surround it. These walls are still standing, with gates that face all directions. The builders shaped the city like a turtle because turtles are symbols of long life and safety in Chinese culture. The head of the turtle is the main gate. The shell is the city center. The legs are smaller gates. Everything was made with a reason. Even the streets follow the turtle shape. Inside the city, you'll find ancient stone paths, old houses and wells that are still working. There are stone carvings of dragons and soldiers. Some homes still have furniture from hundreds of years ago. Time stopped here. What makes Yongtai Turtle City so unique is how well it was hidden. For centuries, it stayed away from roads, trains, and big cities. That's why it stayed untouched. It feels like a time capsule. Most tourists never go there because it's hard to reach. There are no luxury hotels or big buses. You have to walk or take a small ride up the hills. But when you arrive, it feels like you've entered another world. The city is peaceful. Birds sing, wind moves through the trees, and the old stones whisper stories of soldiers, families, and secrets buried long ago. The underwater Great Wall, Panjiakou Reservoir. Everyone knows the Great Wall of China. But what if I told you part of it is underwater? Yes, there is a part of the Great Wall that now lies deep below the water in a place called Panjiakou Reservoir in Hebei Province. This part of the wall was built during the Ming Dynasty over 500 years ago. But in the 1970s, the government built a dam and filled the valley with water. Many villages and historical places were flooded, including this part of the Great Wall. What's amazing is that much of the wall is still standing underwater. Towers, bricks, and steps can be seen if you dive. It's like a sunken world waiting to be explored. Divers say it's one of the most beautiful and strange places in China. Not many people know about it because diving here is not easy. You need a special guide and equipment. The water can be cold and deep, but those who go say it's like touching history that no one else can reach. Sometimes, when the water level drops in the dry season, you can see parts of the wall rising above the water, silent, lonely, and forgotten. The underwater Great Wall reminds us that even the biggest things can be lost to time, and it holds secrets of the past hidden beneath the waves. The Hanging Temple, Zhuangkongxi, Shanxi Province. Imagine a temple that doesn't sit on the ground, but hangs from the side of a cliff. That's the Hanging Temple. or Shuangkongxi, in Shanxi Province. It's over 1,500 years old and looks like something out of a movie. Built into the face of a tall rock, 75 meters above the ground, the temple seems to float in the air. It's held up by wooden beams stuck into the mountain. The structure has small rooms, prayer halls, and wooden paths connecting everything. When the wind blows, it creaks softly, but it has never fallen. This temple is special for another reason. It's the only one in China that mixes Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism in one place. Statues of Buddha, Laozi, and Confucius all sit together. That shows a deep respect for all beliefs. People wonder how workers built such a thing so high up without modern tools. It took courage and skill. They had to carry wood and stone up dangerous cliffs, drill into hard rock, and balance everything perfectly. Even today, it's hard to believe it still stands. Earthquakes have come, rain and snow have fallen, but the temple still hangs quietly, like it's protected by something beyond this world. The Hanging Temple is not in a big city, and it's easy to miss if you don't know where to look. That's why many people in China have never seen it, but those who visit say it's one of the most magical places they've ever been. Mausoleum of the Nanyue King, Guangzhou. In the middle of modern Guangzhou City, full of tall buildings and traffic, lies a royal tomb that's over 2,000 years old, the Mausoleum of the Nanyue King. It was discovered only in 1983, completely by accident. Workers were digging to build a hotel when they found strange stones. Then they found tunnels. Then they found treasures, gold, jade, and a stone tomb filled with history. It was the resting place of Zhao Mo, the second king of the Nanyue Kingdom, who ruled around 122 BC. The tomb had over 1,000 items buried with the king. The most amazing was a jade burial suit made of 2,291 pieces of jade stitched with silk. Jade was believed to protect the body and soul. Only very important people were buried like this. The tomb had secret rooms, carvings, and writing that helped historians learn about life back then. There were musical instruments, dishes, swords, and foreign items, showing that Nanyue traded with faraway lands. Even though the tomb is now a museum, many people walk by it every day without knowing what's below. It's like a quiet king sleeping beneath a busy city. Wulingyuan Hidden Valleys, Zhangjiajie, Hunan Province. Have you ever seen floating mountains like in the movie Avatar? The idea for those magical mountains came from a real place in China, Wulingyuan in Zhangjiajie, Hunan Province. While many people visit the popular spots, very few know about the hidden valleys inside Wulingyuan. These secret areas are quiet, untouched, and full of wonders that even most locals haven't seen. The Wulingyuan Scenic Area has over 3,000 sandstone pillars, caves, gorges, and natural bridges. But deep inside the region, away from tourists, are secret paths that lead to hidden forests and valleys. These places are covered in mist, and the air feels fresh and magical. It's like stepping into a dream. Long ago, monks and hermits used to live in these quiet places. They built small stone houses and temples in the cliffs. Some of these ruins still remain, covered by vines and moss. You can find old stone steps, carvings, and hidden shrines if you know where to look. One of the least known spots is the Shentang Gulf, or God's Hall. It's a deep valley surrounded by giant cliffs. There's no road down, only narrow mountain paths. Locals say it's haunted, but that's just part of the mystery. No one knows why the birds avoid this area, and even GPS signals don't work well here. Some say it was a place for ancient ceremonies. Another hidden gem is Huangshi Village, which sits high above the forest. To reach it, you must climb or take a quiet trail through the mountain. From the top, you can see an ocean of stone pillars, but in the early morning, clouds float between them like rivers. Many rare plants and animals live in Wulingyuan's hidden valleys. You might see golden pheasants, monkeys, or glowing mushrooms at night. The local Tujia people have stories about spirits that protect the forest. They say if you enter with respect, you'll be safe. Today, guides can help you reach these secret spots, but they're hard to find in books or maps. These places remain quiet, full of peace, holding memories of the earth that go back thousands of years. Heizun Ancient Furnace, Baoji, Shanxi Province. In 1975, in a small city called Baoji, something very strange was found by accident. A heavy bronze object, shaped like a pot. It looked old, dirty, but when experts cleaned it, they found an ancient secret inside, the first known writing of the name China. The object is called the Heizun bronze vessel, and it dates back to around 1046 BC, over 3,000 years ago. It was found buried underground inside a hidden chamber along with other bronze pieces. The place where it was found is believed to be part of an ancient furnace site, where kings of the Western Zhou dynasty made sacred tools and cooked food for gods. What makes Heizun special is not just its age. Inside the vessel is an inscription that says Zhongguo, which means China. It's the first time the country's name appears in history, written in ancient Chinese characters. This proves that the people from that time already saw their land as one great nation. Around the site, experts found parts of buildings, stone tools, and more bronze items. Some of them were used in religious rituals. The furnace was likely used to melt metal for making weapons, tools, and royal gifts. It was a place of power where kings planned their future. Today, the original vessel is in a museum, but the site of the furnace remains hidden from the public. It's not a big tourist spot. Most people in China don't even know it exists. But for historians, this spot is like a heart of Chinese identity. Standing in that quiet place where fire once burned and kings once ruled, you can feel the deep roots of a civilization that still shapes the world today. Mogu Cave Temples, Gansu Province. In the dry land of Gansu Province, along the old Silk Road, is a series of caves carved into cliffs. They are called the Mogao Caves, or the Caves of 1,000 Buddhas. But not far from the famous Mogao site is a hidden set of older caves, known only to a few researchers. These are the Mogu Cave Temples, a sacred place full of mystery. These caves were made by monks more than 1,600 years ago. They carved deep into the stone cliffs, creating rooms for meditation and worship. Inside, they painted the walls with colorful images of Buddha, flying spirits, animals, and peaceful nature scenes. Unlike the popular Mogao site, the Mogu Caves are hard to reach. There are no big roads, no tour buses. You must walk through rocky paths, sometimes for hours, to reach them. But the reward is worth it. Inside, you find ancient paintings still shining with color. Some show stories from Buddhist texts. Others show the daily lives of people from the time. There are also strange symbols hidden in the corners, maybe secret messages or protective signs. One cave is called the Cave of the Whispering Wind. Locals say if you sit quietly inside, you can hear a soft hum, like prayers from long ago still floating in the air. Because of their hidden location, these caves were safe from wars, theft, and weather damage. That's why their art is so well kept. Today, a few monks still visit the area to meditate. The Mogu Cave temples are like a time machine. When you step inside, the noise of the modern world disappears. All that remains is the silence of stone, the color of faith, and the spirit of a forgotten time. Zhongdong Cave Village, Guizhou Province. High in the mountains of Guizhou Province, there is a place where people live inside a giant cave. It's called Zhongdong Village, and it is the last known cave village in China where people still live as a community. The cave is massive, so big it fits homes, a school, and even a basketball court inside. It's hidden between mountains and was once completely cut off from roads. People had to walk hours on steep paths to reach it. For hundreds of years, the Miao ethnic group lived here. They built simple houses from stone and wood, all inside the cave. The temperature inside stays cool in summer and warm in winter. There is natural light in the day and water from mountain springs. Life here is peaceful. Chickens run freely. Kids play under the giant roof of the cave. People farm outside during the day and return to the cave at night. They believe the mountain protects them. But life is also hard. There are no hospitals nearby. Electricity only came recently. The government once asked people to move out, but many wanted to stay. They said, "This cave is our home, and the mountain is our guardian." Zhongdong is not on travel websites or posters. It's too remote. But those who visit say it is one of the most touching places in China. It shows how people can live in harmony with nature, holding on to their traditions, even in modern times. Fuxian Lake Underwater Ruins, Yunnan Province. In Yunnan Province, there is a lake so deep and clear that people call it the mirror of the sky. But what lies beneath the water is even more amazing. An ancient sunken city, older than the Great Wall itself. The place is called Fuxian Lake, and in the year 2001, divers found stone walls, roads, and buildings under the water. Some of the stones are huge, bigger than cars. They found carvings that look like symbols or art. No one knew a city was ever there. Experts think the ruins are over 2,000 years old, maybe from a lost kingdom called Yunyuan, which disappeared from history. Some buildings are shaped like pyramids. Others have doorways and stairs. It looks like a real city was swallowed by the lake. No books or stories talk about this place. That's why people are amazed. How could such a big city vanish and be forgotten? The water in Fuxian Lake is very clean and deep. That helped protect the ruins. Today, only a few scientists can dive there. They are still studying what they found. Some believe this was once a sacred place. Others say it might be connected to legends of a city that fell into the water during an earthquake. The sunken city of Fuxian Lake is still full of questions, but it's also full of beauty. When sunlight hits the water just right, the shapes of the lost city glow beneath the surface, like a ghost town waiting to tell its story. Sangxingdui Ruins, Sichuan Province. In the green valleys of Sichuan Province, near a town called Guang'an, there is a place that changed everything we thought we knew about ancient China. It's called the Sangxingdui Ruins, and it was discovered by accident in the 1920s. What they found was not just old, it was shocking. Huge golden mass, strange bronze trees, and faces that didn't look like anything from Chinese history. They looked alien. The story starts when a farmer was digging a ditch and hit something hard. It was a jade object. More digging revealed statues, tools, and even a giant bronze mask with bulging eyes and huge ears. People were confused. These didn't look like the usual ancient Chinese style. Who made them? Later, archaeologists uncovered two large pits filled with over 1,000 relics. They found masks of gold, animal heads, tall statues, and bronze trees over 4 meters high. Some of the masks had eyes that stuck out like telescope tubes. Others were smiling with wide mouths and long ears. The designs were unlike anything seen in China before. Experts believe these items come from a lost civilization that lived over 3,000 years ago, around the time of the Shang Dynasty, but completely separate from it. This mysterious group is now called the Shang-Xingdui culture. It is believed that their kingdom disappeared suddenly. Maybe it was an earthquake, maybe a war. No one knows for sure. One of the biggest secrets about Shang-Xingdui is that there are no written records. There's no language carved on the items. Everything we know comes from the art and tools. That's why this site is still a puzzle. Who were these people? Where did they go? Why did they bury their treasures? In 2021, more pits were found with even more strange items: ivory, silk, and even unknown types of bronze artifacts. Some believe Shang-Xingdui had contact with other ancient cultures, maybe even from outside China. That's why their art feels so otherworldly. Today, the ruins are in a quiet field with a museum nearby. But the site is still being explored. Scientists think more secrets are hidden underground. Shang-Xingdui is not just a treasure of China. It's a treasure of the world, showing us that history still holds surprises waiting to be uncovered. The Tomb of the General, Jilin Province. Far in the northeast of China, near the border with North Korea, stands a strange pyramid-shaped structure. It's called the Tomb of the General, and it's over 1,500 years old. It looks like something from Egypt, but it was built by the Goguryeo Kingdom, an ancient Korean dynasty that ruled parts of China and Korea. This tomb is located in Jian, Jilin Province. It's made of over 1,100 stone blocks, stacked like stairs. It's 75 feet high and 115 feet wide, making it one of the largest stone tombs in Asia. But unlike Egyptian pyramids, this one has no entrance at the top. Everything is hidden underground. Inside the tomb are passageways, stone chambers, and maybe even traps. The walls are painted with murals, pictures of warriors, horses, birds, and spirits. These paintings show what life was like in the Goguryeo period: battles, farming, hunting, and religious beliefs. But no one knows for sure who the general was. Some believe it is the tomb of King Yangsu, one of Goguryeo's greatest rulers. Others think it was built for a military leader who led the kingdom to victory. There is no name written on the tomb, only clues. Local legends say that on quiet nights, you can hear the sound of horses and drums near the tomb. Some believe the spirit of the general still guards the land. The site is not popular among tourists, and most Chinese people don't even know it exists. But archaeologists say it is one of the most important tombs in East Asia. It shows the power and beauty of a lost kingdom, still standing in silence under the northern sky. Ghost city of Fengdu, Chongqing. On the banks of the Yangtze River, not far from the city of Chongqing, there is a place called Fengdu Ghost City. It's not a normal city. It's a place where the dead go after they die, according to Chinese folklore. For over 2,000 years, people believed that Fengdu was the entrance to the afterlife. The city is filled with statues of demons, spirits, and judges of the dead. It has temples, bridges, gates, and halls where souls are tested before they move on to heaven or are sent to suffer. The city was first built during the Han Dynasty. 2 Taoist monks came here to practice magic and eventually became known as the King of Hell. Since then, it became a place of ghost legends and spiritual beliefs. One of the main attractions is the Bridge of Helplessness. Souls must walk across this narrow stone bridge. If they fall, they are judged unworthy. There is also the Hall of Judgment, where statues show people being punished for their sins, being cut, burned, or crushed. It might sound scary, but Fengdu Ghost City is not just about fear. It's also about morality. The city teaches people to live good lives, be kind, and follow the truth. Every part of the city tells a story, how to avoid bad actions and seek peace. Most of the city was moved uphill when the Three Gorges Dam flooded the lower parts. Today, the ghost city still stands, high on a mountain, quiet and mysterious. Very few people visit, and many locals are too afraid to go near. But those who do say it feels like standing between life and death, a sacred place where the living meet the spirits. Mount Kailash, Tibet Autonomous Region. High in the Tibetan mountains, there is one peak that is unlike any other. It's called Mount Kailash, and it is one of the most sacred mountains in the world, but it's also one of the least climbed. In fact, no one has ever reached the top. Mount Kailash is not just a mountain. For thousands of years, it has been the center of spiritual power for four major religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Bon. Each religion believes the mountain is home to gods or powerful spirits. Hindus say it is the throne of Lord Shiva, the god of destruction and rebirth. Buddhists say it is the home of Demchog, the god of supreme bliss. Jains believe their first saint got freedom from rebirth here. Bon followers say it is the center of the world. But what makes Mount Kailash mysterious is that no one is allowed to climb it. The mountain is considered too holy. In 2001, a Chinese team got permission to climb, but they stopped after public outcry from religious groups. Since then, it has remained untouched. Instead, pilgrims from many countries come to walk around the mountain, a journey called the Kora. It's a 52-kilometer walk at high altitude. People believe if you complete the walk, your sins will be washed away. Some even do it by lying down every few steps, bowing to the ground. There are also stories of time slowing down near the mountain. Some say their nails and hair grow faster. Others say they see lights or feel energy. No scientific proof exists, but the mountain's perfect pyramid shape and remote location make it a place of deep wonder. Very few people in China visit Kailash. It's hard to reach. You need special permits and weeks of travel. But those who go say it changes them forever, not because of the height, but because of the spirit that lives in the silence of the snow. Longyu Caves, Zhejiang Province. In 1992, in a small village in Zhejiang Province, some farmers were draining a pond to use for fish farming. But as the water dropped, they found something strange. Instead of a natural bottom, there was a deep, smooth hole. As they explored, they discovered more and more of these deep underground spaces, 36 in total. They had just found the Longyu Caves, one of China's biggest mysteries. Each cave is carved into solid sandstone over 30 meters deep and covers thousands of square meters. The walls are perfectly smooth, with parallel chisel marks covering every inch. There are pillars, platforms, stairs, and even water pools inside, but no one knows who made them, when, or why. There are no records in history books. Local legends never mention them. Some experts believe they could be over 2,000 years old, but the work needed to build even one of these caves is massive. Experts say it would take 1,000 workers many years to finish one. So who built 36 caves? And why did they make them underground? Were they hiding from something? Was it for storage? Meditation? Some even believe they were built by a lost civilization, now completely forgotten. Another mystery is that no tools or bones were found inside. No fire marks, no signs of living quarters. Just quiet, empty space, like a forgotten temple carved deep in the earth. The caves are open to visitors today, but only a few are fully explored. The others are too deep or too dangerous. Scientists are still trying to solve the puzzle. The Longyu Caves are like China's version of the Egyptian pyramids. Proof that ancient people had skills and knowledge far beyond what we understand today. But until we know the answers, these silent chambers remain one of China's greatest secrets. Guizhou's Getu River Caves. Hidden in the mountains of Guizhou, the Getu River Caves are one of the least explored wonders in China. These massive natural caves are carved by the Getu River over thousands of years, creating an underground world so deep and dark that only a few have seen its full extent. Some chambers are as high as cathedrals, with hanging stalactites and pools of crystal water. The silence inside is so deep, you can hear your heartbeat. Locals believe spirits live here and avoid entering. Ancient tools and carvings found deep inside suggest that early humans may have used these caves for shelter or rituals. Scientists have found signs of bats, strange cavefish, and even undiscovered insects. Despite its beauty, very few Chinese citizens know about this place. Most tourists stop at the entrance or walk on nearby trails. But for those who dare to explore deeper, it's like entering a forgotten world. White Emperor City, Baidicheng, Chongqing. On the cliff above the Yangtze River lies a mysterious ancient town called Baidicheng, or White Emperor City. Built more than 2,000 years ago, it is famous in Chinese poetry, but its full secrets are rarely told. Legend says a local warlord saw a white dragon rise from the river and declared himself the White Emperor, building a palace on the hill. The city became a sacred spot and a military base for powerful rulers. Inside the city walls are ancient gates, watchtowers, and temples. One temple still holds statues of the Three Kingdoms heroes, Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei. Their spirits are believed to still guard the site. Few tourists know that Baidicheng hides underground passages and old water storage systems carved into the rock. These help the city survive during wars and droughts. Hezhen Shaman Tunnels, Heilongjiang. In the snowy forests of northeastern China, the Hezhen people, one of China's smallest ethnic groups, have kept ancient traditions alive for thousands of years. Among their greatest secrets are the Hezhen Shaman Tunnels. These tunnels are hand-dug passageways hidden beneath the forests, used by shamans for private rituals, healing, and spiritual travel. Locals say they are guarded by animal spirits, and only shamans can safely walk them. Inside, there are stone carvings, old ritual tools, and paintings that seem to glow in torchlight. Each tunnel connects to natural springs and sacred trees above. They're used during powerful ceremonies, some of which last days. The Chinese government protects the area, but it is largely closed to outsiders. Even many Hezhen youth are unaware of the tunnel's exact locations. The mystery of these spiritual pathways still lives on in silence. The Thousand Buddha Caves of Bezeklik, Xinjiang. In the dry cliffs of the Flaming Mountains in Xinjiang, near the Taklamakan Desert, are the forgotten Bezeklik Thousand Buddha Caves. These caves were once a sacred center of Buddhist art and culture on the Silk Road. Carved between the 6th and 14th centuries, these 70-plus caves are filled with wall paintings of Buddhas, monks, kings, and travelers from many cultures: Indian, Persian, Chinese, and even Greek. It's like a time capsule of a peaceful, globalized ancient world. But many murals were damaged, stolen, or faded due to time, war, and neglect. Still, a few rooms remain stunning, glowing in warm desert light, showing faces from all over the ancient world. This place was once one of the richest cultural centers in Asia. Yet even today, many Chinese citizens don't know it exists. It's a sacred ghost of the past waiting to be remembered. Ruins of Lulan, Taklamakan Desert, Xinjiang. Beneath the sands of the Taklamakan Desert lies a lost city called Lulan, once a vital stop on the Silk Road over 2,000 years ago. Today, it is buried and nearly forgotten. Discovered in the early 1900s by Swedish explorer Sven Hedin, Lulan had buildings, irrigation systems, and streets. But then it mysteriously disappeared. Some say sandstorms swallowed it. Others believe water sources dried up and people fled. Even stranger, bodies found near Lulan are well preserved, with European facial features and ancient tools from faraway lands. This suggests Lulan was a melting pot of different cultures. Today, only ruins remain. You need special permission to visit. The desert winds whisper through broken walls, telling a story of trade, wealth, and sudden disappearance. Yarlung Sangpo Grand Canyon, Tibet. Deeper than the Grand Canyon in the US and possibly the deepest canyon in the world, the Yarlung Sangpo Grand Canyon is a hidden treasure in Tibet. Few have entered it, and even fewer understand its secrets. The canyon is carved by the mighty Yarlung Sangpo River, which flows around Mount Namcha Barwa, one of the least climbed peaks on Earth. The area is full of untouched forests, rare animals, and sacred waterfalls. Local monks say ancient scrolls are hidden in caves here. Adventurers claim to hear chants from deep within the canyon. It's one of the last unexplored places on Earth, wrapped in cloud and mystery. Nohe Stone Village, Yunnan. Deep in Yunnan province, there's a village made entirely of stone. Nohe Village. Everything here is stone. Homes, roads, walls, even stoves and beds. Built by the Sani people, a branch of the Yi ethnic group, the village is over 600 years old. Its clever stone architecture helps keep homes cool in summer and warm in winter. Few outsiders visit, and yet the village is full of traditions, from ancient songs to colorful masks used in spirit dances. It's like stepping into a frozen piece of living history, simple, quiet, and untouched by time. The hanging coffins of the Bo people, Wui Mountains. High on the cliffs of southern China's Wui Mountains, ancient wooden coffins hang from the rock faces. They were placed there over 2,000 years ago by the Bo people, a mysterious group that vanished long ago. The question is, how did they get those coffins so high up? Some are 100 meters above the ground. No one knows for sure. The Bo believe that putting the dead closer to heaven helped their spirits reach peace. Many of the coffins are carved from single logs. Some have symbols painted in red. You can still find them in remote valleys and caves, balancing on wooden beams stuck into the rock. Even today, the Bo people's language, customs, and even their name are lost. Only the hanging coffins remain as silent messengers from a vanished culture. Shimao Ruins, Shanxi Province. In 2011, archaeologists digging in Shanxi uncovered something shocking. Shimao, a 4,000-year-old city that predates the Great Wall. It had stone walls, large buildings, and even human sacrifices. Unlike other ancient Chinese cities, Shimao had jade embedded in its walls, large stone carvings of fierce beasts and strange tools. Its structure shows planning far ahead of its time, but Shimao vanished suddenly, with no written records explaining why. Was it war, drought, disease? The discovery changed what historians knew about early Chinese civilization. Yet many people, even in China, still don't know it exists. Shimao proves that entire chapters of human history are still buried, waiting to rise from the dust.